All right, welcome to the channel. We're gonna go and get started here on my drive home from work here. So I'm actually literally sitting in the middle of the street to start this, but we're gonna go ahead and get started now. And then we should be able to make our way out of here as well. But anyway, so welcome to the channel. We're gonna do a little drive home, and on this drive home, I kind of want to, as we're talking FSD and things like that here, we should be slowing down for this school zone, but we are not. That's not good. Boom! Already right away we had a little bit of an issue. So we're gonna get over here. It looks like. Anyway, but this is the active school zone right now. Lights flashing, but so I didn't disengage it though. But at that point, but anyway, but kind of gonna. It's kind of a little drive with a little like podcast talk in terms of you know, what's been going on with Tesla and those types of things. I was listening to the podcast this morning driving up to work from Kim Java about this Tesla need a new CEO or not, especially with all the things that are been going on with protests across the country, you know, Tesla owners being targeted and Tesla service centers obviously being targeted as well. The one up in Loveland, Colorado. So live in Colorado here, you should probably be able to see Pikes Peak there in Colorado Springs. But the one in Loveland, the service center has been attacked a couple times. Arson, like the other day, someone tried to light it on fire as well. So it's been very interesting. So we should be speeding up here. So we're gonna go and speed us up. Get through that school zone. And then obviously to the yellow light. But yeah, a lot of anger and hate towards Elon Musk, obviously, and the Tesla brand right now, which has been very interesting. And even today, it looked like that Tesla stock took about a 15% dip on news or something, I believe, about slow delivery sales, or excuse me, slow deliveries that have been coming with Teslas at this point. But anyway, but it's interesting. Like I said, as we make this drive, you know, we're going to kind of make the drive. We'll see where we stop this as well. But just having this conversation about what's been going on. I put out a tweet, or excuse me, a post on X the other day. I still call it Twitter, so there's that for you. But I put out a post yesterday. Made a little graphic of Stand with Tesla, right? That was actually reposted by Elon Musk today or this morning, so I've gotten a lot of traffic on my X account because of that repost by Elon. But it's the idea here, right? Like, you know, you might have a lot of disagreements with what's been, you know, what's going on in the country, who was elected president, and those types of things, right? I'm a very political person as well, you know, kind of libertarian mindset for people that kind of know me. And if you follow my X account or my Twitter, formerly known as Twitter account, you know my libertarian leanings. I'm not the biggest fan of Donald Trump. So for a little while, I was disappointed that Elon Musk decided to kind of, I want to say, get into bed with President Trump. But I've gotten over that at the end of the day, though, too, right? And everybody's like, oh, Elon Musk is crazy, and he's got his crazy tendencies, and, you know, he does things in a very odd and weird way. But that shouldn't negate the fact that a brand like Tesla, you know, yeah, he's the CEO of it, should be the target of so much hate coming from people, right? They were talking the other day about people that, you know, who were protesting. I don't know if that was here in Colorado or not. It might have been up in northern Colorado, but people protesting in front of service centers for Tesla and then throwing nails onto the road. That way, you know, for Tesla owners or wherever leaving or coming, we're driving over these nails, which is just disgusting at this point. You know, people who are driving these cars are not in a world where, you know, they're going to have such an impact like this on the political environment in the United States. You know, obviously Elon Musk has decided to kind of jump in, right, and let's say get into bed with Donald Trump. You know, he has, and at the end of the day, he has every right to do that. You know, and we have every right to be people that drive this type of car or any type of EV. You know, people who drive EVs have been targeted for years. You know, I've seen it a couple times. I've never caught it on video. If you get these big dually diesels, you know, getting in front of you and, you know, blowing their black smoke all over your car driving down the interstate. I've told my wife about it. She doesn't believe it. They didn't do that intentionally. They did it intentionally, right? So that's always been a big piece of it and been a big target for a lot of people. But now it's getting to a point of the next level, right? I haven't experienced anything personally that's been going on. You know, people targeting Tesla owners. More than likely, I would hope to think, right? And knock on wood, I don't have any real, you know, this is probably fake wood, but wood to knock on, that this city that I live in, Colorado Springs, is a pretty conservative city, typically, right? So I don't think the idea of Tesla owners being targeted in this city is going to be a big deal, but in other parts of this state and in this country, I could see that being an issue for Tesla owners. I saw somebody on the Denver Tesla Club group on Facebook got a Century Mode video of somebody drawing a swastika on the hood of their car in downtown Denver the other night, probably because it was dirty, I think. I don't think they carved it in, but, you know, right there on the hood, guys right on camera doing it. I might try to grab that video and throw that in here for you all to see that. But, like, it's that type of stuff, right? Like what's going on? To me, you're gonna have political disagreements with people, then have political disagreements with people, right? Do it in a productive and do it in a productive way. At the end of the day, like, there's no need to you know, endanger the lives of people or endanger their property, right? You have rights, we have rights. I used to teach, you know, I'm an educator. I work in education. I was a history teacher, social studies teacher, politics teacher. I have my bachelor's in political science, and my master's in history, but I used to tell my kids when I taught, right, we all have rights, they have rights, but our rights, your rights as a citizen end when my rights begin, or when someone else's rights begin, right? We can have political disagreements, we can have all these back and forths, you know, when it comes to the state of politics in this country and what's going on in this country, but once you start endangering people and damaging people's property, you've crossed the line, right? Your rights end when someone else's begin. You can yell at me, you can flip me off driving down the interstate if you want, but the moment you start endangering me, that's a whole other issue too. I saw another person post on the Denver Tesla Club Facebook group as well about being harassed by a Subaru driver going down the interstate. Had video of it, pictures of it. You know, like, there's a line at the end of the day. Like I said, disagree with me politically, disagree with Elon Musk politically, or whatever it might be. But that's what it is. And I'll keep talking more about this, but we're driving down the interstate right now, going home from work today. Beautiful day out, 69 degrees outside. At least according to the car, sunshine and blue skies, running FSD. We're talking about one of the most advanced computers, one of the most advanced driving machines in the world right here. You know, the inner workings of this car and of any Tesla, whether from a Model Y all the way up to the Cybertruck, and what's eventually going to come with the Cybercab or Robo-Taxi, whatever you want to call it, right? We should appreciate the technology itself, right? Like I said, I was listening to a podcast on the way up this morning from Kim Java. It's actually queued up right now because I'm not done with it, but does Tesla need a new CEO? Is what she was talking about the same type of things that are going on in the country. You know, it's Tesla stock tanked today, but does Elon Musk need to step aside, and does somebody else need to take over Tesla and run the day-to-day components of it? Because at the end of the day, is that impacting shareholders as well? Because like I said, today's Tesla stock took like a 15% drop, which is a lot of money in the stock market, especially for people who hold Tesla stock, to have that much of a dip today. You know, X was a target of a cyber attack. It looked like today it's funny, and I was putting it on X. The day I get reposted by Elon Musk would be the day that it has probably its biggest cyber attack in a while. You know, so go figure. I'm like, cool. I woke up this morning. I'm like, wow, I got a bunch of new followers. Oh, I was, you know, reposted by Twitter to load, so I was having issues with it, or X to load, I was having issues with it as well. But so there's a lot going on right now in the country. And so is it worth what's going on? You know, for people to be losing money or whatever? Do we stand up and fight? That's why I posted Stand with Tesla, right? Like, you know, my wife has joked about getting me the bumper sticker of I bought this car before he was crazy, you know, or a little magnet sticker to put on the back of the car. And I'm like, I'm not putting that on the car, right? What Elon Musk has done for society has been great. When you look at Tesla, when you look at SpaceX, and even to a point with him buying Twitter, right? I've been on Twitter for a long time. It's been my biggest, or my main mode of social media consumption, social media communication for a very long time. You know, and should we be restricting free speech, right? And yeah, he made a strategic decision at the end of the day to get into bed with Donald Trump. It's obviously going to help his companies. We all know that. We're not stupid. I knew that right away the moment he endorsed him. I'm like, oh, this is going to make sense, because from Tesla to SpaceX, especially in SpaceX, has so many government contracts and regulations that control a lot of his companies. He's not a dumb business guy. He's going to figure out ways to make more money, to make his companies better, and to get government out of the way and to get government off his back. Right? That's a pretty standard viewpoint for a lot of you know, business owners at the end of the day, or they're going to get into bed, let's say, with Republicans and conservatives or libertarians, because less government regulations means that they're able to take their companies in a bigger direction, right? Sorry, I'm just going to slow down. I don't want to be going 80 in a 65. So we're going to slow down a little bit. But yeah, they're going to jump into bed with a lot of these politicians more so. And he's gone far with it, and obviously Trump has given him a lot of power, you know, with the Doge effort. But at the end of the day, like, what's going on needs to stop, right? I'm going to stand with Tesla. This is the best purchase I probably ever made so far in my life, was to get into an electric car. When we were looking at electric cars, even at a point I was looking at Rivian. Always been a fan of Tesla. And so when I finally, you know, made the leap to get into an electric car, we went with Tesla. And there's a reason I went with Tesla. The fact that I'm sitting here having this conversation, driving down the interstate, I haven't touched this wheel beyond changing my speed a little bit since I left work, right? My car is driving me at this point, right? I put a quick little dumb video out this morning of, you know, oh, it's the Monday after daylight savings, you know, when most people are tired, and my car was able to basically take me to work on a morning when most people are tired. Like, that's game changing, right? Full self-driving and the technology inside of this car, what Tesla has done over the past number of years, is progressing society at this point, right? You know, we're in the 21st century. Technology is advancing. We got some traffic up ahead, so I'm going to kind of pause it real quick. Hold on. See how we do. We're slowing down. Okay. This is the construction zone I've highlighted on my videos here on Interstate 25 in Colorado Springs, so I just want to make sure we were stopping. I actually had a point this morning. It's on the video. I did the whole time-lapse video this morning, though, but I think State Patrol had somebody pulled over on the left side of the interstate. The guy in front of me kind of stopped pretty hard because he probably saw the cop up there, and so the car actually started slowing down and started getting over a little bit into that shoulder to avoid avoid a collision. But anyway, so I just wanted to make sure we were good coming into this area of the interstate as well. But just picking up what I'm saying here, like, you know, we got to do better as a country. I'm going to stand with a company like this because, like I said, at this point in the EV world, Tesla is the most advanced, right? You got all these other car companies that are coming out, you know, with EVs, you know, whether from Rivians, like I said, that was the other one I would have considered. But in terms of the idea of full self-driving, you know, this isn't just lane assist type of driving right now, right? I could put it in the standard autopilot. I could stay in my lane. Everybody's got that, but the idea of autonomous driving, right? Yes, it's supervised full self-driving right now, but at this point, right, I don't have to touch the wheel. I got the green dot, right? The camera up here can see me that I'm paying attention to the road. And yeah, it'll yell at you right now, and hopefully we can get to an idea of unsupervised full self-driving or fully autonomous driving. And I can say, here's my destination, go, and the car just takes me, right? That's the future, right? I taught history, so I know this idea of, you know, what was predicted back in the 70s and the 80s of where the future would be. You know, we'd have flying cars, you know, those types of things when people talked about, you know, what the 21st century would look like. By this time, you know, we're in 2025 now. I think for a lot of people, they probably, way back in the days, predicted by 2020 we would have flying cars. Right? We don't have flying cars. But we are at a point, though, that the car can drive itself. The car can see. There's cameras all over this, right? So what, you might hate Elon Musk, and you might hate what he's doing right now, right? He's trying to help slash the size of the government, right? I don't think they're necessarily doing it in a correct way, because I'm all about reducing the size of government. You know, I think power into the hands of one person is a little bit too much, and it should go through a process. And when it does go through a process, because here's what's happening right now, though, too, right? Doge is doing their things to slash the size of government, or, you know, all these wasteful spending, blah blah blah. But then the Congress and the Senate has to bill out. Rand Paul and Thomas Massey were talking about this. Senator Paul and Congressman Massey. Like, we got a bill that's sitting out there that's going to probably add $2 trillion to the national debt. So here we are back to the status quo. So we can talk all this game we want about reducing the size of the federal government. And this is on the Trump side, right? I didn't vote for Trump. I've never voted for Trump, and I'm not branding. I mean, he's not going to run again anyway. Just because I don't like the guy. I don't think this is the guy that should be pushing this movement further. But reducing the size of the government and government spending is out of control. Right, so Elon's having a field day with it. He's going to town with it at this point. But politicians in D.C. are reverting right back to the status quo anyway. And has, like I said, a spending bill that's going through Congress that's going to add a ton of money to the debt at the end of the day anyway. So we're back to what we always do, no matter what. But the news is making a big deal about it because Trump has given Elon Musk a lot of power. So to speak, in order to go in there with Doge and, you know, let's make government more efficient. So finding all the dumb programs that Congress voted for in the first place. Like, that's what's funny to me. That's nothing new. You know, the fact, you know, like there was millions of dollars spent for research, you know, for whatever in this African country. Congress voted for it. That's the biggest issue. That's where it needs to get reined in. It's not going to be Doge and Elon Musk that are going to be the ones that are going to tackle this fraud and this wasteful spending, this wasteful government spending. Congress needs to get their place in check at the end of the day, because they're the ones that are putting these pork spending projects into place. It's been like that for years. I remember as a college student railing against pork spending back then. Like, we wasting tax dollars, you know, spending on the things that matter, national defense and security, you know, and whatever you want. That's Congress's issue. But anyway, but what I'm saying is, just keep tagging on here, is that the state of this country is in a really different place right now, right? So that's why I posted out on an X, stand with Tesla, right? People that drive Teslas, like me and any other person on the road, you know, are not going to have that big of an impact on what's going on in this country, right? I could, Jesus, I'm shitting around too, fingers. Sorry. As I just cursed. But, anyway, but yeah, we're not going to have that type of impact. Like, we're not the ones that are out there doing all this, so why target us, right? I could target it while we rolling up here right now. I got a Kia, a Jeep, a Subaru, right? The joke about people always driving Subaru, especially in this state. You know, it's like the typical car, but like, hell, at this point, the typical car in this state is becoming a Tesla. So it's funny that people want to target, you know, the service centers in northern Colorado or whatever. But be kind to people. Like, dang, that's where I'm at the end of the day, right? My Christianity's coming out a little bit there, but just be kind to people. We can have disagreements, but going after people is not fun. And there's the Colorado Springs Tesla Service Center up ahead on the right. People that work there, they shouldn't be targeted. They're hardworking people. They need a job, right? They're out there doing the good work. Got some traffic coming up here, slamming on the brakes, or slowing down big time. There we go. And there you go, full self-driving. Solve the traffic, boom. Talk about the advancement of technology. I didn't have to do anything. I got a little scared for a second because I didn't know if it had seen this traffic stopping up here. But it was able to handle it. That's technology. We need to be cheering technological advancements at this point. But I wonder what's going on up here. Usually it's not. So FSD getting over. This lane's faster. Probably looks like there's an issue on this is a bypass that or the off ramp to a bypass, and there are emergency lights up ahead. So good. That's why we're not going that way. I'm actually going to pick up my son from my parents' house, so sometimes it'll take me that way off the interstate onto the bypass, but it looks like there is a issue. I wonder if it's closed, but we shall see. But the car's smart enough to know this lane's closed and got over. We're still rearing ahead. It's actually not closed fully at least, but something happened earlier. But there we go. I didn't have to do anything. So that's what we're celebrating here. Stand with Tesla. And I'll even kind of say it to a degree, stand with Elon Musk. He's doing what's in his best interest and his company's best interests in order to give us products that are going to advance society at the end of the day, right? With SpaceX, he wants, we should be going beyond the moon and going to Mars. Right? We've been talking about that for years at this point. I think that even goes back to the Bush administration way back in the 2000s of talking about the idea of like, what's the next piece, right? We've been to the moon, now let's go to another planet, right? And then government inefficiency with NASA has, delayed that for decades at this point. And here he comes along with a company like SpaceX. It's like, no, we're going to build the best rockets we can build, and we're going to go past the moon and do all these things. And now the government has to rely on SpaceX to even get astronauts into space. These astronauts that are up at the International Space Station have been stuck there, and they're probably right that Biden politically left them up there because he didn't want Elon Musk to have the credit to go up there and save these astronauts because Boeing wasn't able to, with their I think it was like their Starliner or whatever, rockets to go up there. Like, stop. So that's where we're at. Yeah, I got my moments, and I'll talk about it. Elon Musk, he's crazy. I know he is, right? But sometimes crazy might be good at the end of the day, right? Trump's an idiot. I'll say that flat out. Let's see what FSD does here. They don't want to let this car in. Probably make them upset. That car was trying to merge. The lane was ending, so it looked like we were going to let them go in front of us, but they slowed down, so we went forward. Right? That's a natural human driving instinct as well. And the software here was able to do that on its own. But anyway, like I said, I'm standing with Tesla. Like I said, probably this right here is the best purchase. I bought this car back in May of 2024, so this is the 2024 Model Y, all-wheel drive, long range. I got a new job. I knew I was going to have to drive further to work, or a new school that I was working at. So we were like, let's get an electric car at this point, so I don't have to buy gas. And here we go. I've saved a lot of money so far from May till now on the fact that I went and bought an electric car. I charge this at home every night. It's been $1,400 to get a charger installed in my garage. Totally worth it because I just go home. When I go home in a little bit and plug in, I'm in good shape. So for all the naysayers out there, I don't think it's jealousy. I don't think people know how to handle themselves politically. And so they'll resort to damaging property. They'll resort to violence in order to get their way politically. And that's not what we should do in this country. necessarily throw out my Christianity, but it's important, right? Love thy neighbor. It matters, right? We're all people. You know, I live in a world where I live my life, and I'm not out there to try to upset everybody, right? I'm going to have political beliefs, and I'm going to express those political beliefs at the end of the day. So, but got off the interstate there, so I'll probably keep ranting a little bit until we get to where we're going. Like I said, so what we are running FSD 13.2.8 on the newer software, 2025.2.8. That just came out. Like I said, in my Model Y, great car. But here we are we're going to get off the interstate here. We're going to go through a little bit of this construction zone. And again, this will show an advancement of technology. So like I said, you can hate Elon Musk all you want, and you can hate Tesla all you want. But we're going to turn here and drive through a very active construction zone for a military construction project. And FSD is going to be able to handle this flawlessly, more than likely. And I say that I'm going to have to disengage. That'd be funny. Because maybe I should have spoken too soon, because they got these new turn lanes up here, or not new, but different turn lanes to get onto the interstate for people who are coming eastbound on this street at Academy. So we actually probably need to get over a little bit more. But let's see how this handles, because I don't think I've taken this off at this point. Maybe I have, I don't remember now. To see how it handles to get into the right lane. So, and if it does, it's just kind of a booyah to all the haters out there. Like I said, hate all you want, but technology is advancing. People like Elon Musk are going to get their technology to advance. Like right now, this is a turn lane, and it found the proper lane that it should have turned into, right? And you can't tell me there's another electric car that can figure that piece out right now. The way that full self-driving has advanced at this point, no, there's nothing out there like it, right? I think I said that on a comment on one of the videos I put on YouTube, and somebody I think was trying to argue with me, and I wasn't able to get in with it, because again, we're talking, this is autonomous driving at this point. It's still supervised, so it's still, you know, let's say in a beta. But I'm able to push a button in my car. I haven't touched anything. You've seen at this point how far we've gone, and I've gone. You know, I've been driving for probably about close to 30 minutes at this point. And this guy don't like how slow I'm going, but he's fine. Do what you gotta do. I'd be going this speed. I'm going 15 miles an hour over the speed limit at this point. But he's gonna be the idiot. He's weaving between lanes right now because it's trying to get somewhere. And here's me. It ain't that serious. Life ain't that serious to be speeding your way through. But those are my thoughts on everything. So, like I said, treat people the right way. Treat people with kindness and dignity. Even if you disagree with them from a political standpoint. Because at the end of the day, to me, that's not worth it, right? But here we all are living in this world, right? Cherish the advancements that our society has made with technology, with society itself. More stuff in the road, go figure, like I said. We're in an active construction zone, so, but this car's driving itself through different lane changes. Yeah, it's using navigation, but it's obviously also using the cameras all around to drive, right? You're going to see a point here. It thinks it wants to get over right now, but it can't. Turns the blinker on. Sees a concrete wall right here. It knows that it can't get over yet, but it's still signaling. And now it knows that it will get off this road and onto this one. So that just tells you where we are in life. We are advanced in what we are doing. And it is because of crazy people. Let's just call him crazy Elon Musk. Right? He knows. He's admitted it. He knows. Right? But some people can't get over that. Right? Disagree with him politically for what he's done and gotten, you know, side by side with Trump. Right? Sometimes there's a few things I like that Trump has done. I think the guy's crazy as heck too. So it is what it is. But don't take that out on companies like Tesla. Don't take that out on people that work for Tesla. And don't take that out on people that drive Teslas. Because at the end of the day, here we are. We're making the world better, right? I'm not guzzling gas like everybody else that's driving out here on the road. So end of rant, so to speak. But we're almost where we're headed to here. I'll probably stop the video here pretty soon. I'll take us into the neighborhood here where my parents live. Like I said, going to pick up my son after work, after school. But that's FSD for you, right? That's Tesla. Right? Great car. I got almost 14,000 miles on it, approaching that mark. Had it since May. Been having fun driving this car. At the end of the day, it's a fun car to drive. So just be thankful for the advancement of technology that we have in society and where we are today. Right? We should be making this push to electric cars at the end of the day. And if everybody on the road was driving with, I think they were talking in this podcast, if everybody was if every car was driving on full self-driving, unsupervised, we to a point would even need stoplights, right? In terms of how the cars could even communicate with each other, and the ability to turn and whatnot. But we should be getting the green arrow here soon. Like I said, for this ride, I'll take us into the neighborhood and then I'll stop. But green arrow. But that was basically a drive from one end of the city, literally basically the north end of Colorado Springs, almost the extreme north end, to the extreme southern end of Colorado Springs. And I didn't even need to touch the wheel beyond trying to just adjust the max speed a little bit. No disengagements whatsoever from where we started the video at that stoplight. But we'll go ahead and end right there. So I appreciate everybody that's been with me on this journey over the past couple months, making these videos and having fun making these videos as I drive in my Tesla. Like I said, thanks to Elon Musk even today for reposting me on X. Drew a lot of engagement on there as well, because I stand with Tesla at the end of the day. But give this video a like, check out my channel, give the channel, subscribe to it. Stay along for the journey, especially as we get new updates for FSD. But from this point right here, I think I will see you next time. So thanks for coming along for the ride.